Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So this is another video for Nufftingz Speaks, where I want to speak about something that's probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. So, as you know, I'm a small channel, but I like to watch a lot of YouTube. And I like to watch podcasts. I've been doing it for years. I just love to listen to people talk and, really get into stuff. But one person I used to always watch was Vlad TV, right? Now, Vlad TV really gets on my nerves now. And I don't know what happened to old dude, but he really gets on my nerves. It's like, bro, he's such a terrible podcaster. Like, he's such a terrible interviewer. And people be like, no, he isn't. It's why he has so many views. Look, man, let's look back on Vlad for a second. I'm not only going to talk about him, but let's look back on Vlad for a second. If you remember, years ago when Vlad started, he was interviewing adult stars, right? But then he went into the hip hop thing, right? Now, he likes to tell people that, he's a DJ. But if you watch other podcasts, black ones really, a lot of them don't like him, right? And there's honestly an argument for that. He's not likable, right? He's one of those guys that, okay, I had a friend growing up, right? He was white, right? I'm not saying anything's wrong with white people, no. He was a white dude, but he hung out with the homies all the time, right? One time, me and him got into an incident, and I asked him if I could borrow something, and he said to me, I don't lend stuff to the N-word. Hard R. And I looked at this guy, and I'm like, what the hell? So me now, being the little crap that I was, I can't say the word anymore. I took it and I was leaving, and I actually left his house. He realized that I took it and ran after me. Now, he can't fight me. He would got hurt. What does this little kid do? I remember, we're like teenagers at this time. So a little kid isn't really the word. Like, we're teenagers. He goes, because there was a black dude across the street. Didn't know this dude. And I didn't know him. He goes, yo, Andre. Wow, that's like the most typical black name ever, right? Yo, come here. Come here. And I looked at this guy. I'm like, you know what? Take it back. Now, this was an older guy. He had to be like 20s or something, right? Now, it wasn't that I was scared. It was just the whole thought process with me. I was like, okay, look at this guy. He literally says the most racist crap in the world. And he then sends his black homie to handle his business that he couldn't handle himself. This is what I mean about a lot of these guys that we call culture vultures, because there's something so bad about the situation too. It's like when Godfrey said that they will be with a sister and then hate on black men. It's so true. Like, look, you could be like, oh, you sound white, Rob. Yeah, I do, right? But I grew up black. I'm mixed, right? My mother is black. My cousins are black. My uncles are black. Everybody's black. We're Jamaican black, okay? We got a little Indian in us too. But we've seen the same things as everybody else. Police pulling us over for being colored, all that. We've seen it. We've been through it. I've heard a million stories from older people that talk about racism in the 60s and this and that. I also know women that are older now, and they'll say stuff like, this is why I never would date a white man. So why? They would say stuff like, because no matter how good he is to you, during an argument, one day he's going to call you the N-word. And it's like, this is like, we can sit there and be like, oh, that's not true. But this is how they look at it because they've experienced that, right? We can't sit here in 2025 and relate to racism from the 60s, right? Or the 30s or the 40s or the 50s or racism 200 years ago. We cannot relate to it. But we also should protect our brand a little bit more. We should support our own people. Straight up. Like, we don't support our own people. I mean, it's a little hard too with our people being so weird sometimes, but if we all came together as colored people, things would be so much easier. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have that. For some reason, we just split off and don't want to do it. But anyways, moving on. My whole thing with Vlad, right? Or what that dude called him, Glad, is that he has this thing where he'll sit there and be like, oh, I've never said the N-word. And he will emphasize the fact that he never said it once in his life. And it's like, bro, the fact that you have to force us to believe you makes me know you said it already. Like, just stop. You know what I'm saying? Didn't Eminem have songs years ago before he became a big artist where he said the N-word? Like, just stop, bro. You know you've done it with the homies, your little white homies and stuff. You know you've done it. Stop lying. Now, my whole thing with Godfrey and him, right? So I looked at what happened 5 years ago with Farrakhan, right? When they had that situation with him, what Godfrey and Lord Jamar said was so true. It was like, you say something and you don't give an apology for what you said about Farrakhan, right? A very strong black figure, right? But then when Nick Cannon did the same thing, said something about Jewish people, it was like a whole thing. Like, you know, you were like, everybody's mad. He had to apologize right away. And even you were mad. But it's like, now when it's you, you then talk about, oh, 5 years later, I went on my man's podcast. And, you know, because here's the thing, nobody interviews him. He interviews himself while he's talking to somebody. How many times have you seen Aries Spears on there just staring at him? Like, dude, can you shut up? This is why I keep telling people, support Club Shay Shay. Seriously. This is why I say support them. Support him, bro. He sits there and he listens and he asks questions and he just lets the interview happen. You're not clicking for Shannon Sharp. You're clicking for whoever's on there. It's the same thing with Vlad. It's the same thing with anyone. It's like Drink Champs and all that. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I even saw an interview or a podcast where Aries Spears was talking about, oh yeah, Vlad's boring as hell. And I'm like, dude, now he's going to say some shit about you. Seriously, he's going to say some crap about you now. And it's like, you know, stop going on his pod, man. Or is it a pod? His channel. Stop going on it, bro. I get he probably pays you guys some good money, but like, bruh, you know, it's like, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's like, it's so weird to me how we as a people don't respect ourselves enough. You know, like, we should stand up and stop supporting dude. He's literally sucking our culture dry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, bruh, like, I'm just freelancing this one here because I don't even know what to say. Like, I was just watching Forgotten Kings and I put a comment on there on my other channel and I was like, bro, this is what I mean. You know, you're telling stuff about Godfrey because you're mad at him now. Like a big baby. Oh yeah, I bought his meals. Like, first of all, shut the hell up. No, you didn't. I don't know Godfrey personally. I would love to meet him. He seemed like a cool dude. Good, strong dude, man. Like, he's strong with his morals, what I mean. Like, he's a good dude from what I'm seeing, right? It could all be show, but I don't know. But I'm going by what I see. The man seems like he's a legit person that cares about people and his community and whatever, right? Even if you bought him meals, who cares? Aren't you rich? You're telling me you can't just buy a meal for a homie? So if I go out with one of my homies tomorrow and I say, yo, man, I got this meal. And then we fight. I'm supposed to be like, yo, I bought you that meal though. Really? Shut the hell up, man. That's stupid. You see what he's doing? He wants to get Godfrey mad, so Godfrey says some crap that he's not supposed to, and then this guy's gonna call the FBI and be like, yo, can you guys check in Godfrey, please? You know, I think he's doing some illegal stuff. That's why I hope to God that any man of color or any woman of color that met with Vlad did not tell him secrets. Because that man, if you get him mad, he will go and say something. Seriously, like, why? Like, dude, that's why I loved it when, oh oh, that wrestler went on and Booker T just blasted him. Like, I was just like, bruh, that was good TV right there. I love Booker. Like, I mean, Booker's a little bit interesting in his own way, but he was like, nah, bro, I'm not going on no Vlad. And I was like, dude, that's beautiful. I love Booker. Like, I can't even lie. I love Booker. It was so funny. But it's like, man, I don't even know what to say about that, because it's like, dude, just because you're banging a sister, bro, doesn't give you the N-word pass. It doesn't give you any pass to degrade black men or any colored man for that. And the other thing too is, like, you all know I'm a Canadian dude, right? I was born out here, but my roots are Jamaican, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when he sat there and talked about bad about Canada, like, there was one time or a couple times he did where he was like, oh, Canada ain't got this, Canada ain't got that. I would never, like, remember when everybody wanted to go to Canada when Trump was in power the first time? And then he's like bad mouthing Canada. Like, y'all need to stop that, bro. Canada's not as bad as you think. Like, you know, like, you can't, like, why do Americans have this thing where they look down on Canadians? What have we done to you? I mean, look now. We have all these issues now because of your president. Now, our prime minister was a ding dong. I'm not going to lie. But we've had many that worked well with Americans and everything was cool. But yet, y'all look at us like we're the redheaded stepchild. Like, we're not worth anything. Like, we're like the bottom feeders. No, we're not, bro. If you came out here and you actually hung out and actually stayed a while, you might like it out here. I mean, like, we get taxed out the butt. But I mean, dude, we don't have police shooting people for no reason out here. Like, we don't have all that. I mean, we probably do, but you hardly hear about it. But still, like, it's only now that it's become more violent out here. It used to be so nice out here, but it's become more violent now. More people are more, you know, they can't afford food. We have a homeless problem out where I am. Like, we have more pressing issues now. So it's not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago, but it's still a lovely place. You know, why do you dog us? Like I used to go on Xbox live chats and they'd be like, oh, you know, the only thing good about Canada is Canadian bacon. Oh, you guys live in igloos. Oh, you guys got stores? Like, it's like, dude, it's so bad. Like, are you good? Like, it's like, you act like we're like so beneath you. Like, stop, man. Ain't nobody beneath nobody. We're not better than you. We're all level, man. We're all level. Like, stop it. So anyways, so as I watch these podcasts and, like, it's like, we got to stop supporting these other cultures like that. You know, if you have a homie that has a store, support the store, man. Like, support him. Like, out here, we have Chinese markets, right? And they'll sell things way more expensive, but their people are supporting them because they're keeping their money in their community. And that's what we need to do. Keep our money in our community. You know what I'm saying? And we should not be having people like this dude interviewing our people and then police getting involved. You know, they're using his content to whatever, right? To get people in jail, get people thrown in jail and crap. And it's like, okay, hold on. I get it. He asked the questions and you answer, which you shouldn't. But, you know, you don't see this on any other podcast. You know, like, you don't see, you know, you go on Club Shay Shay and it's like, oh, man. And speaking of Club Shay Shay, who I love, make sure you support Shannon Sharp. I love Shannon Sharp. How do we know that Mr. Vlad wasn't the one that that wasn't the one that got old girl to mess with Shannon Sharp just to mess up his podcast? I mean, he's got the money, and if he can manipulate somebody to now make 30 mil, he talks about it all the time. It makes you wonder sometimes, like, yo, bro, did you have your finger in this, bro? Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm not saying he did it. Don't like say, oh yeah, he did it. No, I'm not saying he did it. But wouldn't that be so funny? And it seems like something someone would do to stay on top. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I could be wrong, but that would be hilarious. Like, it would be like, damn. But you see, if that was true and that was ever found out, people probably still go on his podcast anyways, or his channel anyways. It's like, okay. But yeah, that was my whole thing. Maybe I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Maybe Vlad will interview me. I'm a nobody, so he won't interview me. But look, man, we got to stick together better. There's nothing we can't do as a culture if we all stuck together. Um, it's a shame that we can't, but you know, it would be nice if, as time goes on, we teach our children to stick together with our people, and maybe, you know, races and everything will disappear and we would have a happy place. Anyways, that was my talk on this. I probably drifted off, but you know, this is just one of those rants where you could agree, you could disagree, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. But still, like I said, support the black YouTubers. Not even just the black ones, the ones that have a good interviewing process. Support the ones that let the host talk. Support the ones that, you know, you could relate to. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's my video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.